What about this source? If you're studying American politics of the 1960s, for example, in the Cold War or the Civil Rights era, then you might find an image like this, which is taken straight from the National Archives, or in this case, the Lyndon Baines Johnson Presidential Library, and it's a letter from an ordinary person to the president. In this case, it's from a Mrs. Emily Anderson, and she's writing to the president, and she's saying thank you for federal aid to nursing education. What do you do with it? Well, as usual, you try to describe it in a way that adds more detail than we get from the caption and the source itself, and then you go on to analysing it. Right, what can we find here that will help us with our description? First up, do we know the origin? Well, we do. We can read it here. This is a woman in Missouri, and it's January 1965. Okay, down here again in the caption, you'll always have who created it if it's known, and you also have the date, and then we also have it who it's to the president. Okay, Mr. President. It's pretty clear there. So, origin is probably not important for us to know who Emily Anderson was, so we might describe her as a member of the public. Date, January 1965. Okay, if we study the 1960s, we know how significant that is. It's after the assassination of JFK. It's the time of the Civil Rights Act, and you would decide on the basis of the content here what else it might relate to, and then you might start thinking about the Great Society programs of Lyndon Baines Johnson. So that's the origin, ordinary American. That's the date, early 1965, and we'll try to put that into context. What's the motive? What's the motive of this source? People don't always write to political leaders. In this case, she's written to say thank you for, this is the important part, federal aid to nursing education. I have a daughter who at the end of this semester will have a degree in nursing, etc. She's one of the fortunate ones to have been given a federal grant to pursue a master's in nursing at St. Louis University. So she's received a federal grant. This could never have been possible in a family like mine without federal aid. And again, I thank you. So an ordinary American saying, my family's life has been improved because of a policy or a budget decision of your government. So her motive is to say, keep that up, keep providing federal aid, it makes a difference. Who is the audience? Well, it's who it's to the president. At the same time, this is kept on file, and this has been made available to the public, made available to historians like us. Therefore, there could be a secondary audience, people who want to know what people at the time thought of these federal programs.